Put yourself in the Dolphins locker room, hearing Tyreek Hill's post-game comments. Walk me through it, Chris.
We're all independent contractors, right? We were texting about this the other night. You
Yep.
were like, you were taken aback by the quotes after the game.
I sure was. They gave up a lot to get him. They paid him top of the market. He had 1,700-yard seasons 2 years in a row. He was the first overall selection by his peers in the top 100 of the NFL. So he was able to have that in his on his resume, and then all this happens, and he's like, deuces, I'm out. Chris?
Well, so I think, the immediate questions I've heard are like, how can you forgive him? Like if you're a teammate, well, you don't have to. If you're a teammate, he's not your teammate anymore.
Not yet. Not yet.
No,
I mean, he's not Jimmy Butler. This isn't the NBA where you say I want out and you get out. It's very rare. I know Devontae Adams kind of did that in a way, but
well, you could say, hey, he can't do that. Yes, he can, because somebody's going to want Tyreek Hill on their team next year. So unless you're telling me nobody's going to trade for the guy, and I think he knows that like there would be a market for him, he's not going to say something like that. And by saying that, you kind of draw a line in the sand where that like if everybody in the building knows you don't want to be there. And this is the thing about coaches and organizations. I remember sitting in meeting rooms and locker rooms, and coaches and organizations, they used to love the saying, like, if you don't want to be here, leave. And then of course, like a guy will say, I don't want to be here. Like, and it's going to be hard to get rid of him because of the number, but he's Tyreek Hill. Like, somebody's going to want to throw the ball at Tyreek Hill next year. He's still got it. So I would say, like, for me, it's hard for me to get outraged because we've moved sports into this territory. Like, it has just moved this way over a number of years where, like, you can ask me what it'd be like to be his teammate, but I don't really know. I can tell you I'd probably be like, oh, he quit on us. But as somebody sitting here in this chair doing the job I'm doing now, like, I'm not going to feign outrage when, that's the way sports are now. Everybody has an easy way out now, and I hate to sound old school, but that's what it is. And, like, when I used to play and walk uphill 6 miles in the snow, I'm just joking, like, because it wasn't like I played in the 80s or 90s when things were hard, but like loyalty was a little bit more of a thing. And yeah, sure, you had holdouts and people that were trying to, make things right with their contract or get paid what they were owed. But like for a guy to just say, hey, I want out of Kansas City, go to Miami, spend a couple years there, and see that, hey, it is a lot more fun winning. Well, there are consequences to that. Generally, you have to kind of play out your contract. But in today's day and age, like, you can say, hey, how could we forgive him? We will forgive him. We will be on this show next year talking about, wow, what a catch by Tyreek Hill. It's so fun to watch Jaden Daniels throw him a deep ball, because nobody in Miami could throw a damn deep ball the last couple of years. And, another thing is, you talk about Miami as the greatest show on turf. Well, why does he want to leave?
Great question. I said it had to be about money, is what I thought.
It's definitely about money. I mean, he definitely wants a new deal and that sort of thing. And I think being 30 and being a skill guy and, kind of now counting the years and saying, like, how many more years do I have in this window to earn? And I know people are like, well, he just got paid a bunch of money. But if I'm not mistaken, 26 is not guaranteed.
I believe you're correct. But be that as it may, he's definitely entering the backside of the contract that the Dolphins gave him. But that's why I asked you to put yourself in the locker room. You know what I mean? Because you just spilled your guts out, hoping against hope, and you're staring up at the scoreboard watching Bo Nix run it up on the Chiefs, knowing that this thing's not going to happen. And as soon as it's over, and you're watching the Jets celebrate Aaron Rodgers' 500th career touchdown pass. I understand things are raw, but he's the only one that said I don't want to be here anymore. And there might be other people who feel the same way.
I've had a bunch of teammates quit, like, not maybe out in the public, or they've done things that have kind of been traitorous, things that from an effort standpoint, from a commitment standpoint, like, people quit on their teams all the time. And just this guy happens to be a guy that is one of the best in the world. And, for somebody like him who's got all the money in the world and he's on a contract where he's getting paid a ton more, it's really hard for people to kind of kind of figure that one out. But I just think that's the way sports are going, man. Like, if I was his teammate, obviously I'd be like, what a quitter. Like, bro, we were just in this playoff run. Like, we had a chance to get in like 15 minutes ago, and all of a sudden you're just walking off after the last game. But I can't put myself in those shoes because I'm not in that locker room. I don't know everything that's going on. I know as a media member, this is just the way it is now. And like, unless we're going to protest every Tyreek Hill highlight in the future, I'm not going to sit up here and on a soapbox and be like, oh, what a quitter. Sports is full of quitters now.
The consistency of Chris Long. It's very, very inspiring. You inspire me, sir.
But what do you guys think?
No, I exactly what I texted you. I said right into this microphone, albeit a little bit better lit yesterday, that yes, I am, stunned by it. And I mean, offended obviously is a strong word because it's not my locker room. And
you can be offended, Rich.
But because I don't know everything that's going on behind the scenes there.
Hey, Chris, I want him on the Patriots next year. Let's go.
Well, I mean, how that work out for Antonio
Brown?
Who cares? How'd that work out for you with Antonio Brown? And he did you see?
It was great for one game.
Did you
not comparable? I just want to say this: AB and Tyreek not comparable, just with the kind of the history of like the on the field stuff. Where
no, I know that, Chris, but the only reason why I bring that up is two reasons. One, because it's yet another receiver doing something in MetLife Stadium. I don't know what it is about that. But two, if you look at his Twitter avatar,
he changed it to AB.
Yeah, he put his face on Brown taking his jersey off at MetLife.
And what happened when AB took it? What happened when AB took his jersey off at MetLife?
He was done.
Half of the internet loved it.
Yeah, but where is he now? He's doing what CTESPN.
Yeah,
talking about what's going on in the television business right now.
He seems to get great engagement. I mean, that's what the world is now, bro. Like it's just clout. Everything's clout. Everything's about quitting. There's no loyalty. We spent so long being pro player that we didn't know where to draw the line. And I'm so pro player. I'm so pro player movement. I'm pro players. Making more money, more guaranteed money. I'm befuddled half the time when people take the side of the owners in these negotiations and, all that stuff. And I hate seeing, in a sport where there's 100% injury, that guys get locked into these crappy contracts and teams can cut them whenever they want. No questions asked. Is it fair? No. But currently is what we signed up to do. And I wouldn't even put Tyreek Hill on the side of the sliding scale where I feel bad for a player.
Yeah.
So, we asked for it. This is what we get. I mean, seriously, we all want to be so pro player and pro, we don't want to, at the risk of not sounding progressive in the world of sports, and now we're here where all of a sudden, even the most progressive of us are like the whole transfer portal thing's crazy.
I know that. Yeah.
Like the NIL stuff's gotten out of control. Or, Tyreek Hill can walk in the locker room after a game and say, I'm quitting. Well, I mean, who are we to tell a player where he has to play football, right?
Isn't that, absolutely.
It's just like, what do you expect? We forgive this stuff all the time, and we will.
Chris, I
will. Rich, I will. Next year, I'm going to be like, oh, Tyreek Hill. This is a lot of fun to watch. Jaden Daniels throwing the ball.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.